Having just returned home from 2 months on the road across America, just me, my trusty backpack and my suitcase, determined to do my bit to rally the red, I thought I'd best jump in a day ahead of the midterms to give my thoughts and also my predictions for the midterms themselves. And I say all of this, of course, as a respectful foreigner and as an outsider. And as any of you will know that come to any event I'm at, I always make that point because I am super conscious of this idea of what's that British woman doing and why does she think she has a view? And at no time do I ever want to be compared to the dreadful Piers Morgan. So just to make it very clear, I know I'm a foreigner. But during those 2 months across the very furthest reaches of California, to Atlanta, to Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, through Florida and beyond, I learned a good few things from ordinary Americans, ordinary patriots that we gathered together in order to help rally our side. The first thing is that I have never seen America look so red. And I say that as someone who was there before Trump's inauguration. In fact, when Trump was campaigning, and you knew, if you knew America and you knew ordinary America, you knew he was going to win. And it's amazing to see just how red America is right now. And there's so much despondencies near cities or people who are too close to the media. But when you're right out amongst the best of us, like in Yuba City in California, which not even Californians have heard of. Yuba City was basically just a room full of men with a lot of hair all the way down to San Diego, as someone said. Then you realise just how red America truly is, and it's very uplifting. So as an outsider, I've never seen America as red as it is right now, just ahead of the midterms. The second thing I observe is the determination of Americans. And that doesn't matter what you particularly believe, it doesn't matter what I think either, but if you think the knockback of, if you think the election, for example, was a fraud, or if you disagreed with lockdowns, all things, I disagree with lockdown, I think there was massive fraud. It doesn't matter whether you agree with that or not, but the sheer determination of individuals to keep going, individuals who flew from California to be outside the White House on January the 6th and had a peaceful rally and knew nothing about what went on in the Capitol building, those people are still die-hard MAGA or red Republicans, or a sort of person, as I like to describe them, that just wants the best for someone else, just wants someone else to be as free as they can be and live the best American life that they can live. And as long as you leave them alone and don't ask them to pay for your problems, that's pretty much what they stand for. Those people are still determined to put America on the right track. And what amazes me is all the knockbacks all of these people have had, including the people still in jail because our side hasn't got them out, is the determination of those people to keep going, to keep turning up at meetings. And it's strong women across America who are really making this happen. They're not often the ones on stages doing the big speeches, but it's the strong women with their petitions and their signatures and their meetings and their baskets and their auctions and their silent auctions and their membership. And they're the women making this happen. And I just couldn't be more... Any day they get praise is a brilliant day because strong women are making the network that enables our side to be as strong as it is. My critical observation, if I may, as an outsider, is that too many of the people currently on stages engaged to give speeches are negative. Too many of the people on stages, and I don't want for one moment for this to be a male-female thing, but as I expressed, it's very often males that are on stages, and too many of anyone on stages is too negative. Too much looking in the rearview mirror, too much focusing on the past. And I totally get the argument, if we don't correct the past, election fraud, we can't move forwards in the present. I understand. Too many people still talking about lockdowns and the crucifixion of our economies and how terrible the vaccine was. which I also get, and I'm a complete believer, of course, but in our side, in pure bloods, but still talking about that 2 years on. And I appreciate you could say, well, Katie, vaccine injuries, they go on. Yes, they do. But the people who have spent their time and their money and driven 4 hours to come and be in a room, in my personal opinion, deserve better. It is easy to spread negative. It is particularly easy to talk about things that have already happened and talk about how negative they are. That's the easiest thing in the world. Doom and gloom is the easiest. It's like telling the weather that there's already happened. The weather people here in the UK call it hind forecasting. They're telling you the weather that's already been. Well, yes, that doesn't seem hard. Well, our job is, if you are lucky enough to stand on a stage, your job is to lift that room and to give them stuff that they can hold on to, not rallying points from some hurt in the past. That's my personal opinion. And the more I hear the same speeches, the more I'm certain of it. The next thing I wanted to talk about was really about giving people, and it's a sort of build on that last point, is giving the audience something to rally around, things to hold on to. And it's why DeSantis, I think, is so effective when he talks and as governor, because each time he addresses a topic, he has an action point that he delivered and a good news item. On migrants, we did this, and we also sent the busload to wherever, and we've now saved the state this much money. On lockdowns, we did this, and we will not have those mandates ever put in again, and we're doing this, and that's how it's going to be. On this, we did this, and in future it'll be this, and this is why it's better for Floridians. We have signed up more Republicans to vote than Democrats. You know, everything has an action point, and that's really what I'm looking for, and what I'm desperate for as an outsider is more action points to give people stuff to rally around that isn't from the past, but that is forward looking. Tell me what you're going to do and make me excited about it. And that's why I think Carrie Lake is brilliant, because she does it so effectively. And I wish all the candidates were as of higher calibre as Carrie Lake. And it strikes me as baffling how some of the candidates have made it through to be our candidate when they should all have been as strong as that woman, an outsider's perspective. And finally, and most importantly, the one thing I really wanted to say before I give my prediction is that what's going to happen off the back of the midterms is a massive wave of momentum. And I'm not talking about just this red wave. I'm talking about like a tsunami of momentum. And as you'll know from watching waves or watching anything that has momentum, a dog running, right? You have to channel and target and not contain that momentum, but channel it really powerfully behind and into something. So there will be a moment after these midterms where everyone is elated, and we should totally enjoy that. Because I tell you, everyone has been stood naked, having a bat taken to their stomach, their kidneys, their spine for 2 years or more. So everyone should have a moment of pure indulgence. Get as drunk as you like, probably not if you're in the deep south or part of the Christian fabric of the Republican network, but you know, if you're not, get naked, stand on a table and dance like no one's watching. Have that moment. It doesn't really matter what your background give or whether you'll upset the pastor, just be elated. But then we must channel the momentum. And that's where the strong network come in. That's where this army of strong women can come in and direct people and say, right, we've got this win. Now let's take it to 2024 and let's agree some basic rules. Let's agree we're going to bring positivity and action points from anybody that's on a stage. We don't want to hear just about the election fraud. We don't want to hear just about how terrible the vaccine was. We want action points to go forward. We need ways of getting people, if they're not involved just yet, to be involved in ways that best suit them and that they can be equally energised and entertained about, ways that actually matter. Standing on street corners is definitely one of those ways. And we need to channel momentum in a way that's super positive and lose any criticism of our side, lose the negativity and lose any infighting. One of the things our side does spectacularly well is turn in on itself, look to its own navel, face the wrong way and punch up someone else on our team. All you need to say to those people and remind them is they're looking in the wrong direction. They need to face the enemy, because it's the Democrats that we need to take down. And my prediction, having lived, slept, worked, talked, hugged amongst you for 2 months on my own on the road, is that it is a red Senate, and it's also going to be a red House. You take both the House and the Senate, and you set yourselves up beautifully for what will be, I think, the last hope for the free world, which is 2024. My name is Katie Hopkins. To get in touch with me, you can email landlord@katiesarms.com, or you can just go to the website, which is www.katiesarms. I'm looking for something with it written on. katiesarms.com, and yeah, will this work? Katie's Arms. So like our pubs here, Katie's Arms.com. And it's only us that run that. It's only lovely Mark, my husband, that has your data. Please don't think it goes anywhere. And we just keep in touch with you and let you know what I'm up to, and also what states I'm coming to next. And on that note, I very much look forward to being in Tennessee and Nashville in January 2023. So do get in touch. I love to hear from everybody at landlord@katiesarms.com. That's lovely Mark, and he'll get your messages to me. And I'm telling you now, just as I told CNN when I called them the Clinton News Network, that it was going to be a Trump win, I also called Brexit red House, red Senate, and one final hope for the free world in 2024. You can come back at me if I'm wrong.